swinging like a girl because there's a car right there. And I'm nervous. There we go. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a great weekend. My apologies for the wind, but it's fall time in Prince George, which means the wind comes up and it blows all the leaves off the trees, which is a real stinker because the leaves are a lot nicer than the wind. Oh, and there's a spot on my camera, right? There we go. So I don't have to hide it anymore. There's Bob. We should just call it Bob. With the little deck. I got this ambition to do the tires or start the tires on low and slow. So that might be what we're doing today, but like everything else, one step forward, two steps back. Working on old trucks isn't always as easy as it should be. Well, I guess that's kind of expected, but I think it should be like Big Brother, you know, expect the unexpected. So, look what I did. The hub where my studs were too short, I pulled the wheels off to inspect it. I was going to record it, but I was in a big fat hurry and I thought, I'll just start and record it tomorrow. So there is my studs with the little, it's like they've got a, yeah, the edges are ground or whatever. So I pulled the tires and wheels off. I pulled the brake drum off, knocked all the studs out. This is actually a longer stud. I bought 30 new studs. Was gonna buy 40, but I couldn't get 40. And pressed one in. They're button studs, so it really wasn't that hard. Look at that lining. I got lots of lining. Everything's actually looks really good. My brake drum looks good. But it wouldn't be an old truck project if you didn't expect the unexpected. So pulled the wheels off, you know, and I like the steel wheels. I mean, one day I'll put aluminum wheels on it, but it's like, you know what, I kind of like the steel wheels painted red. So even though I'm changing the studs out, that's just for the future. So I I just got to show you. Wash the wheels off and look at this wheel. It is kind of pooched, in my opinion. I mean, maybe I could still use it, but to me, with that type of corrosion, it's, well, let's just say it's just plain dangerous. I think, anyways, I mean, maybe I could, you know, chip it out, but yeah, it freaks me out a little bit even chipping that off, because at the end of the day, for the price of a wheel, it's not worth risking your life or someone else's because you're trying to save a couple of bucks. So that wheel, I might leave that, well, I think I am going to leave that tire mounted on it, reduce the air pressure in it, and just use it for, you know, when I need to move a truck around the yard, because there's no sense dismounting a tire that's junk off of a wheel that's junk if I can, you know, use it for moving something around the yard. But I'm not putting that back on low and slow. That would be stupid, dangerous and stupid. The other wheel's just fine. It's got a little bit of rust on it, but nothing like that. Like, and in the crack there's no rust there at all. So now I'm faced with, so that wheel's toast. I gotta pull the other wheels off and see which ones are toast and how many. So if I've got like one steel wheel gone, I'll just buy another steel wheel. If I've got a couple, you know, then I got to think, should I buy 4 aluminum wheels? And if I got more than a couple, well, then I'm definitely buying 4 wheels. Maybe run steel on the inside and aluminum on the outside. But in the meantime, I got to have tires on it so I can move it. And it's a bit chilly today. It was -2 this morning, -2 Celsius. So winter's coming. Feels like it's here actually. So got to turn my light on. Yep. Mike's garage is officially open. Check out my tires. And this is part of the reason why I really need to get these on, because they look so good. These Michelin X-Works D. Yes. Got to use the X-Works D voice when you're using those. But they're directional. So I got to get my wheel thing sorted because they got to go the right way. So here's the wheel that was actually on the inside of that wheel end, and I drained the air out, and look at how good this wheel looks. I mean, it's rusty, but it's good. So now I just have to break the bead, and I've got Dad lent me his torches, so I just got to get a bottle of oxyacetylene. I've got some of our old tire tools. Now this is our homemade bead blaster. We made it many years ago out of a propane tank, and you know what? It works just fine. Hasn't even blown up yet. I shouldn't even joke about that, but you know what? It works. I got to put a fitting in it. I wonder what year this thing was made. Just because it's kind of interesting, because I want to say it was like from the 80s. 82. Manufacture 0282. So that's how old that bead blaster is. And I left the hose out last night, which means I left my pressure washer out. And it was -2. That was really dumb. OMG. I knew I was forgetting something. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. This is my heating system here. My hot water from the boiler comes in here. This is a crossover pipe because it's, always circulating. So it goes up and circulates back. This, of course, is the cold side. When the shop calls for heat, it opens this valve, turns this pump on, and then it starts drawing water through here. This is actually a mixer valve, so you don't put the straight hot water through. You can see right now it's 120 degrees. That seems wrong. Doesn't feel like it's 120 degrees. But anyways, and then it circulates through my floor because all my heat is floor heat. So yeah, floor heat. It's great in the wintertime. It's nice and toasty. The floor's warm, and it actually heats up pretty quick. So let's see if I effed my pressure washer. Gosh, what a dummy. What a dummy. Oh, I think I got lucky. I think I got lucky. Sometimes getting lucky is good enough. Oh, I'm a tire man. No, well, I used to be. This handle, you know what? We need to tape up this handle. That's what we need to do. It's a little bit loose. There we go. Good enough. Wait, I should pinch my fingers. There we go. Well, that was easy. Famous last words. Now, I need soap. Dang it. And just like that, I'm back with my tire soap. So, this is a Diet A&W root beer. Love this stuff. You know, they say aspartame is not good for you, but if you're diabetic, so is sugar. And I'm not a diabetic, but my dad and my brother and my grandpa were, so. But yeah, A&W Diet root beer. So I got some water in it, drilled a little hole in the top, and mixed it with dish soap. So this is what I squirt around the tire to pop it off to lubricate that bead. And then normally I'd use tire grease, and tire grease for putting it back on. Tire grease is, it's like a soap, so it washes off. But since I don't have any tire grease, I'm gonna use, that's right, a bar of Disney soap. Actually, it's from a Disney Cruise Line soap. No, we didn't steal it. It was anyways, gosh, I love Disney cruises. Anyways, get sidetracked. So you just give it a squirt like that. And then drop it. Spray it all over the place. Lift with your knees, Mike. Yeah. This is the side that it will come off of. That's what you want right there. Be very careful so that this head doesn't fly off and hit something. I should put something in there. I'm swinging like a girl because there's a car right there. And I'm nervous. There we go. Big enough for rust dust. Oh, one thing I've determined, I am very much out of shape. Where's my bars? Story of my life, taking too big of bites. Not really. Oh yeah, this tire is, look at that. I just gotta show you guys. But yeah, look at that. These tires are just they're bad. They're garbage. Just like that, she's off. I'm gonna put it on the tractor right now. That's not bad. You know, it's a little rusty, but it's just an old steel wheel. We'll give her a wipe down and pop a new tire on. Clean up that inner face. Maybe I'll do that before I put the tire on. Good enough. So now I need a tire. And that tire is going to go on the inside on the driver's side. So I got to have the rotation going that way. And I need my tire soap. So this is a little unorthodox since I don't have tire soap, so I'm just going to use my hands. I put a little bit of water in there to make my soap soapy, and then I'm just going to lube up the bead on the new tire. And if I leave this in here, it should get soapier. Actually, maybe I'll grab it first. Okay. So, on the truck, it's going to turn that way. So I need to put it on this way, because it's going to turn this way. So, grab my bar of Disney Cruise Line soap, lube up my hand, and just Give her a little soapy soap action. Actually put more water in there. Not quite as fast as the other tire, guys. There we go. But I work pretty cheap. Just don't tell my wife that. Okay, take the knife out of my pocket. I'll just bounce it on. Put my coveralls on. So, if it doesn't want to bounce on quick and easy, you can just give a little tap while standing on it. There. I probably could have used the bar too, but I didn't. Lord knows I could use this workout. Then we take our small tire bar, stand on here, and we use this end. Do one of those. One of these. May have taken too big of a bite. Ah. Let's give this a little tap. There. Oh. I got tire mounted. Judging from the looks of it, we will need the bead blaster. First tire I've mounted in, 20 years? No, not 20 years. It's been a while. I never used to have the pouch. Well, I've had the pouch a while, but. Ooh, we might not need the bead blaster. Gotta love Michelin's. Got strong sidewalls. That's something that I always liked about Michelin tires is the stout sidewall. So I'm gonna just put it over here, and I gotta air up my itsy bitsy teeny whiny air compressor. But I'm gonna do that first so that you guys don't have to listen to that. So, because it's kind of noisy. Maybe Santa Claus got me a new compressor for Christmas. Maybe, maybe not, maybe. Noisy! My little Craftsman air compressor is noisy. Still popped out. So, this is what's great about a Michelin with a Tong tag ball with a strong sidewall. Just to air it up. No bead blaster required. How awesome is that? Pretty awesome. That's really awesome. Grab my valve stem and my valve stem tool. Just like that. Now I just have to wait for 49 years for it to air up. But look at those tires. Gosh, such a meaty tread. Love it. Love it! 85 PSI. Good enough. How many of you check your valve stems with your spit? Probably a lot of you. So, a lot of you might be wondering why I'm airing them up to 85. The tires are actually rated for 120 PSI max load, but the kicker is I don't have a max load on. Excuse me. If I air them up to 120, you're gonna get great fuel mileage, but they're gonna be hard as a rock. If you're at 80, 85, way better traction. That was always the trick to getting traction with the other big lug tires, is run them at a lower pressure. They kind of squat a little more, but honestly, with low and slow, I'm probably never going to pack a weight heavy enough to warrant max inflation. But so you know what? I think 85 is a good number. I'll do some more research. Let me know what you think in the comments. Or don't. Or do. So yeah, put the cap on. Inside wheel's ready to go back on. Now, my other problem is the outside wheel is garbage and I need to put some wheels on. I don't know how many others are buggered, but I've got this wheel. Check this out. I got this for a really good price at work, and it's a beautifully polished, what is it? It's a Western Star wheel. So we only had one, so I got it, and I could use a full set, but I couldn't find them. I couldn't find their website. I don't know if they're like gone out of business or what the deal is, but it's a Western Star USA. I don't know if you can see that. Ooh, that shine. Forged wheel, 22.5 by 8.25, blah, blah, blah. Made in China, of course. Max load, part number. But it's got these fun oval holes. So, yeah, I got this wheel for like dirt cheap. But the problem is we only had one. So now I need at least 3 more. Technically 5 more, because of course it's 2 steer tires to make a match set. So if anybody knows where I can get some of these Western Star USA wheels for a reasonable price, or you know what? I could showcase your wheels, just saying. But anyways, I'm gonna throw it on, and then that way I can figure out what I need for wheels on the other ones. And this way, I hate the fact that it's gonna be mixed matched, but you know what? It's a means to an end. If I have to mount and unmount this one, because if I can't get 3 more of these, this wheel's gonna be an inside or something, because I can't have one wheel looking different. Although I've had one wheel looking different for the last while, since I couldn't get my cap on. I'm also putting longer studs on, so. Anyways, I'm gonna mount this up. Old man noises. You know, I shouldn't even, well, whatever. The more I do, the easier it'll get. Right? That's right, Mike. You're not old. Okay, that one's good. Let's lube up another tire. All I want for Christmas is a new air compressor. A new air compressor. Look at that. 85. I didn't even plan that. I know what you're thinking. Mike, it's like TV. You totally planned it. No, I really didn't. So that's it. Valve stem is leaking though. The wheel did say made in China. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but there we go. Give it a spit test. Spit test good. Where's the cap? So yeah, if anybody knows where I could get a full set of these Star wheels, I kind of like the look. I'd take them. But depending what's going on with my other steel wheels, which we'll know later today, I might be buying some TRP wheels. So, because, you know, I can get them at work. And TRP wheels are a good price. Alcoas are, you know, probably better. Actually, you know what? Here's an interesting fun fact. TRP wheels are actually Accuride wheels. And there is nothing wrong with Accuride wheels, so. Anyways, let's go, oh, actually I gotta finish putting my studs off. That's what we gotta do. Let's go, I gotta put the brake drum on, I gotta put the studs in. Actually, I gotta put the studs in, then I gotta put the brake drum on. So let's go do that first. All right, guys, these are the new studs for aluminum wheels. These were the old studs. If we compare the length, it's about probably a 3/4 inch difference, roughly. So these came out actually really easy. Just whacked them with a sledgehammer a few times, and so I am gonna suck them in using 2 double nut spacers, one of the old wheel nuts, and I'm gonna use a little bit of WD-40 to lubricate the threads, because there's such a thing as a wet torque and a dry torque. And since we gotta crank these things in, I think a little more torque would be good. So I'm gonna put this like that, not like this. Then I'll use my 1/2-inch drive Milwaukee Impact to suck it in. Suck it in, Mike. You know what? I think I buggered up one of these too. Maybe that's not the one. Is that difficult? Maybe just because the threads are dirty a little bit. Yeah. So I'm just going to use a little bit of weasel piss. And when I say weasel piss, I mean WD-40, because Dad always called it weasel piss growing up. I don't know if the guy's allowed to say that, but I just said it, so I guess it's allowed to say it. I'm going to put it on the high torque setting. You know what else I'm going to do? I use hearing protection. What a novel idea. Yeah, I know. And here we go. Where she stops, hopefully at the end of the stud. Ow. I'll show you guys what it looks like as it sucks in. As it sucks in. So, oh, dang sun. I'm not complaining about the sun. Just make that clear. There we go. And that's it. Bottomed out. Bottomed out means means the stud's tight. And I think with putting new studs in too, we'll check the wheel torque a couple of times, because, you know, in case the studs stretch, you know, in case it's not 100% super tightly seated, then we'll just make sure it's perfect. Actually, I think I might just give that a little bit more wrap. You know, a little more wrap to make sure it's seated. studs are all seated. I used my wire brush to clean all the pads since it is a pilot hub. And I'm just going to put a little never seize on these. Although I should maybe put the brake drum on first. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's what we're going to do. Ouch, that's hard. Cleaned out my brake drum. It's looking fine. Wire brushed it all. Stick my finger in the hole, make sure that's okay. Try not to ruin my back. Ooh. This is a tough one. Seen those tricks using using furniture dollies, but I don't have one of those. Well, I do, but I don't know that it would lift that high. Anyways, let's just suck it up and put it on. Be a man! And it's like, gee, Mike, how come your back is broken? I don't know. And I'm gonna pinch my fingers and say, gosh, golly gee darn, I wish I didn't do that. Fraggle rock. Brrr. Yep, that hurt. Rack. Oh, you know why it won't fit? Because I need to release the brakes. Oh, gosh, I'm an idiot. Ouch. I backed the brake off too, and I got wheel chocks. I didn't show the wheel chocks, but I do have wheel chocks. And also the other thing you got to watch for is when you jack up a truck and it's air ride, and then the air suspension inflates, it's gonna whoot, or actually it's gonna go whoot, and it's gonna push that axle forward a bit. So, but if you didn't know that already, now you know. One day I'd like to take this thing all apart and, you know, pull the deck off, fix the frame rails, or, you know, pretty them up, but not today. Not today. Why is that being? What are you being cheeky? What are you being cheeky, truck to me? There we go. It's like a glove. I gotta line up the old Stutterooskies. Actually, the brakes are released, aren't they? That's what I do. Famous last words. Oh, there you go. Ha! Like a glove. Oh. Not special. So, there, now I can put tires on it. And wheels. And I'm putting some never seize on. They say you're not supposed to put never seize on wheel studs, but you know what? I've been doing tires my entire youth, and I always put never seize on wheel studs. I never had a wheel come off. Never had an issue. I also never had any wheel nuts pile up, so I'm gonna stick to it. I mean, I'm not saying you have to slather in it, but having a little something something in the threads, I think is just good. Yep. I'm gonna say we need to jack it up a bunch more. I wonder if these tires are that much higher profile or what. I'm gonna go get a tire bar. Where's my stud? Here's my stud. So I pry up with the pry bar and I push it in with my knees. A lot easier on the old Backarooski. This wheel was on the inside and it looks fine. I don't know why that other wheel's so bad. So check it out. Check it out. So this is the wheel that we're not using. Look at, like, yeah, garbage. And this is the Western Star USA wheel that I only have one of. How much does that suck? Sucks a lot, but I have the wheel, so I'm gonna put it on. So this wheel has wheels. So this hub has 2 wheels. Sorry about the wind. Dang wind. So yeah, I'll pull the wheels off the other side, and if it's got a screwed up wheel, I think I'll be buying wheels. Then I'll probably have to pull, I don't know. It'd be nice just to find, let me set you guys back up again. I'll go get the wheel and tire. It would be nice to find 6 more of these, 2 for the front, and you know, I can run with the steel wheel on the inside and these on the outside. It'd be nice to have aluminum wheels all the way around, but Peterbilt Mike's on a budget. I got trucks to fix. So, and you know, I was thinking about taking the wheels and tires off of Stubby, Little Deck, Bob, whatever you want to call them. But those were the wheels he was ordered with, so I'm a bit of a hopeless romantic. I love a good story, and the fact that that truck was ordered with those wheels, I want it to keep those wheels because they're not buggered. I don't think. Let's hope not. There we go. Oh. Gosh, that looks good. Whew! You know what else I like about these wheels? I like the lip. I like that beveled lip where it doesn't have the dirt catcher. But you know what? They come from China. So what do you want to bet you can't get them right now? Eh. I don't know. Probably is best to get TRP wheels because they're Accuride. I wonder where Accuride ones are made. I wonder if they're made in China or if they're made in the USA or Canada. They could be made in Canada. Surely we manufacture something in Canada. We haven't chased all business away. Okay. Lubricate my nuts. Don't forget, boys, to lubricate your nuts. Check your nuts. That's right. That was a little bit suggestive. But all joking aside, while I screw my nuts on, you want to lubricate the pilot hub nuts because they have this washer and it's supposed to spin. This is supposed to lock on the tire and it needs to spin. So that's why you want to lubricate them. But seriously though, check your nuts because I had testicular cancer and I checked my nuts, found a lump. Had I waited, not gone to the doctor because I was a man, I wasn't gonna have a man cut my nuts, probably be in a lot worse shape than I am. But I'm not in bad shape. I'm actually in good shape. Well, I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is, yeah, I had testicular cancer. I was lucky because when they found it, they found a lump. My urologist said there's a 99% chance that it's cancer if it's a solid mass. And so here's the thing, found the mass. I'll give you the whole story. I know you guys probably don't want the story, but since we're talking about nuts and I'm joking about nuts, we're going to talk about nuts because it's important, guys, to check your nuts. Testicular cancer, you know, 95% survival rate, which is great, but it's still cancer, so there's a 5% don't come back from it. So here's my story. I found a lump in the tub, joked to Andrea, I said, gosh, I should get this checked out, because if it was cancer and I die, you'd be pissed, ha ha ha. Made an appointment to the doctor. You know, it takes a couple of weeks to get into the doctor. Go to my doctor, he checks me, he's like, I should book you for an ultrasound. Okay, book me for an ultrasound. And anyways, books me for an ultrasound. Then he says, I'm also going to make an appointment with the urologist. So this was Friday. The urologist's office was closed Monday. They called me Tuesday, and I said, well, I'd kind of like to get in sooner than later if I could, because we were hoping to go away that spring. And she says, you're coming in tomorrow. And I was like, oh, well, that's good service. I'm coming in tomorrow, which was Wednesday. I went in at, my appointment was at 4:30 on Thursday. Dr. Patterson checked my nut, walked out across the hallway, picked up the phone, called the hospital to get an ultrasound done. No, was that Wednesday? Gosh, I'm getting yeah, that was Wednesday when he did this. Booked myself an ultrasound for first thing in the morning, Thursday morning. Gosh, I hope this wind isn't screwing things up too much. So next day, went to the ultrasound first thing in the morning at the hospital. And of course, you know, I'm a guy. It's a little sensitive having somebody, you know, slather your guy stuff, your nuts, with jelly and then rubbing the old ultrasound thing. So, you know, I make small talk and I'm like, so, was it solid mass or fluid filled? And he says, well, you know, it's probably one of the better cancers to get. And I was like, he said the C word. So that was kind of a shocker. Driving home with Andrea, we didn't even make it halfway home. It was like 15 minutes later, Dr. Patterson calls and he says, yep, it's a solid mass, so there's a really good chance it's cancer, so we're doing surgery tomorrow to remove your nut. So that's what they did. Said be on call, because the only thing more important than your surgery will be like car accidents and stuff. So yeah, emergency surgery to remove my right testicle, which actually, you know what, the surgery wasn't bad at all. I mean, it wasn't great, because they make an incision at your belt line and pull it out from the top. They don't affect down below. But yeah, did surgery, and talking to some testicular cancer experts, you know, at first they told me, well, you can do chemo to kill it all if it's still in you. Do an RPLND, which is cut your gizzard open and remove your lymph nodes, because if it's spread, that's where it goes to first. Or do surveillance, where we just do CT scans and watch. So I was like, okay, let's do chemo, let's kill this sucker, but I'm not letting you cut me open until we have a good reason to cut me open. And anyways, then the oncologist said, no, I think surveillance is the way to go. I referred to Dr. Christian Coleman'sberger in Vancouver, testicular cancer expert, and he did a biopsy on my tumor. He said there was a hint of vascular invasion, so he said it's 50-50 whether the cancer comes back, or spread, I should say. Says if it's spread, and you notice it, the odds of doing chemo and beating it after aren't any less than if I did chemo right now. So, you know what? On his advice, we did surveillance, did CT scans a few times a year, and knock on wood, cancer never came back or showed up again. So there was a hint of vascular invasion, but the good thing was there wasn't, so it didn't spread. So when I say check your nuts, and if you find a lump, go get it checked out right away. Like literally, I could have been another couple of days, a week away from it spreading. You know, I probably still would have lived, but I would have had to have chemo, and it would have spread throughout my body and all that other BS. So moral of the story is check your nuts, especially if you're a young man. You know what? Check your nuts. If you find a bump, be a man, go to your doctor, say, hey, got a bump of my nut. Seems kind of odd. You'll live to tell about it. So anyways, that's my cancer story. So live your best life. I'm gonna go get 2 more nuts. 2 more nuts. I bought 2 new nuts. Sadly, one doesn't fit.